Hi there, this is Stephanie Franklin, and I wanted to make a quick video about one of the websites that I just did some on-site optimization about. I know I could print out a PDF report and show you these results, and I think a lot would be lost in translation of the methodology and what it took to get these rankings. And it's also a lot more exciting to watch a video than read a PDF report, because I'm sure that you are tired of doing that. So anyways, let's get to the results, and then I will show you how I got the results on the website, and then also a few other examples of my work. So the domain and the client that I'll show you today is American Holiday Lights, and I did an update on their site about 4 days ago on the 21st. And my client and I decided to go after 400 different keywords to expand his reach in the Chicago suburb area. So it's 20 different suburbs and cities, and then 20 different keywords. So you can see that there was a huge change of 1,093 improvements anyways. That doesn't seem like, I mean, that seems like a lot, but when there's 400 keywords that you're tracking, you'll see that there's only, some movement of a few spots. Some did move up 15, 20 spots, but most of them just jumped up a few spots to spot number one, which is what we wanted to happen anyways. Every spot counts, and everyone wants to be number one because that's where most of the traffic goes. So it was some really great results with the on-site optimization that we did. So you'll see Christmas lighting installation Elmhurst. On the 21st is when I did the update on the on-site optimization, and we also added some new pages. And you could see that it drops off a little bit. And then on the 23rd, you'll also see that Google crawled the site again and indexed all of our new pages, which is really exciting. That was really fast. And I'll also show you how I get pages indexed very quickly by Google. So Google apparently liked the information we were putting on the site and putting out there, and ate it up. They really liked it. So Christmas lights installation Oakbrook jumped up 4 spots. Now that doesn't seem like very much, but from 5 to 1, I mean, 1's perfect. That's what I wanted to happen. And then of course, I'm sure you know about the Google dance, and whenever you do on-site optimization, you're going to see your site act a little crazy for a few days, and this keyword dropped off down to 8, but then it bounced up to number 2, so it went from 3 to 2, which is really good. It went up a little bit. Hopefully the next week or two all these spots keep improving, and then I'll review it again to see what other changes need to be made to keep improving the rankings and keep moving up to that number 1 spot. So Homer Glen up from 6 to 2. Christmas lighting installation Downers Grove up 5 spots. See, this one jumped up 9 spots. That's awesome. Orland Park from 12 to number 3. Very good, very good. Up 14 spots. Glen Ellen. Here's Oakbrook up 8 spots. Excuse me. Geneva up 14 to number 3. So from second page to first page, number 3. Awesome. So you're probably thinking, these are long tail keywords and super not competitive. Okay, yes, you're right. It's not competitive to rank for these keywords at all. Well, it's a little competitive, but not. And then when you add the suburb onto the keyword, it's also not as competitive, and the search volume is low. But when I did look at the Google Analytics for this client, we were getting about 30% of our traffic from these long tail keywords before we did this. And they were coming to the main site and a few pages that we had set up for these cities, but we were getting a ton of traffic for these long tail suburb keywords. And so I thought that it would be a good strategy to set up some new pages for the site, optimize the site for these suburbs, and try to see if we can get better rankings, or at least 2 to 3 new pages showing up for at least for the 1 keyword. So if we can take up more spots on page 1, the more traffic my client's going to get, better business for him, and makes him really happy. So you can see everything happened on July 23rd. Everything jumped up, and I'm excited to see what happens in the next week. I hope that these rankings keep improving, which I'm sure they will. And then hopefully they'll just level off, and stabilize and keep those rankings throughout the holiday light season, which starts in August, which is really coming up very quickly for him. That's why we wanted to do this update before August and September, because that's when people start calling to make reservations to get their Christmas lights installed for the holidays. So, okay, let's check out the site. So this is my client's site, and it is a WordPress-based site, and I did set this up from scratch from a WordPress theme. I am not a graphic designer, so please forgive me. I'm sure there's tons of other people out there that could do it better than me, but my client had a small budget, and this was what worked for him, and he's happy with it. So works for everyone. You'll see that the phone number is kind of ugly, and this is because we have call tracking set up on the site, and I'm logged into the site currently, so it's not going to show me a call tracking number. And I've been cookied by it, and so it realizes me as a repeat user, and it's not going to track me anymore. So I have an Avid Track account set up to do all the call tracking for my clients. This phone number, it'll display a correctly formatted phone number for a new visitor and cookie that new visitor to tie it to that new phone number. If the new visitor makes a phone call to my client, then we can see quite a bit of data where that visitor came from, what keyword, what ad group, what ad campaign. We can see what search engine it came from, if it came from Google, Bing, Yahoo. It's really neat on on Bing and Yahoo, you can see what keyword they came from, what search term they came from to the site to make the phone call. Google no longer gives us that information, of course, so we can just see that it came from Google organic search. With the AdWords campaigns, we can see what keyword the new visitor came from, and then what ad they clicked on, what ad group, what ad copy, and then to make that phone call. So we can trace all of that back, and then every call is recorded, and as soon as the call ends, my client gets a recording of the phone call emailed directly to him, and a notification that a new lead came directly from the website, from the AdWords campaign, or from organic search, which is really great information to have. You can also see that we have these are the 20 new cities that we're targeting, and I just put this in the bottom of the homepage just in case Google wants to give us several rankings or one more ranking, because we have this relevant information. If someone searches for Christmas light installation, Geneva, Wheaton, Elmhurst, we might get at least one more ranking out of this. You can also see that we have map listings set up for all these different locations for him, and this is schema markup in the HTML backend. So Google can read it, say, hey, that's an address, that's a phone number, perfect, matches with the maps, I get it, you're relevant. I did set up all the citations for this client, Angie's List, BBB, Yelp, HomeAdvisor, and about 50 other citations. And the citations really seem to help the map listing rankings, as well as a really good relevant backlink for any local business website. So let's take a look at the silo and how I got the rankings to improve. So what I did was, here's the first level of the silo is services. The second level is commercial Christmas light installation. So my client wanted to expand into the commercial light installation this winter because it's bigger jobs, bigger money, better business for him. So it's really exciting to see how this is going to turn out for him. So let's take a look at the second level silo, and that'll be the service page that I created. And you can see that here's the H1 tag with the keyword, commercial, retail, Christmas light installation company. This is one of the main keywords we want to target for. This is actually his work, which is really, really awesome. It's a great company. And then here's his wiki page, or not a wiki page, I'm sorry, and a link out to a wiki authority page on Christmas lights. So on every page that I optimize, I do at least one authority link out or two authority links out, just depends. And this seems to help the on-site optimization and show Google that, hey, you're a relevant site, you're linking out to authority sites, you must know what you're doing. It's just, run-of-the-mill on-page optimization. Here's our H2 tag, and it has a variation of the keyword that we're going after. I always do bold and italicize several of the different keywords. Here's another outgoing link to christmasdecor.net. It's another authority site. And then there's another bold. I think this is an H3 tag. And there's that ugly tracking phone number, so you'll see a different tracking phone number if you visit the site. You'll also be recorded if you call my client, so just a heads up. And then here's the H3 tag with, some of the variations of the keyword again. I always include a YouTube video from their YouTube channel just to tie everything together and show Google that, hey, this is a real business, a real website. They have a YouTube channel, they have Facebook, Twitter, Google Maps, Google Plus, all that good stuff. And I make sure to target the videos and do some optimization for the title and the description of the videos, because sometimes these videos will show up in the search results, and I'll show you some examples of that after this. So, and it also helps index new pages really quickly. You can set up a YouTube XML sitemap for your YouTube videos and then submit that sitemap. You can ping that sitemap with your webmaster tools, or it's now Google Console, but you can ping the YouTube sitemap with that tool and get your website indexed really quickly. So here are the 20 cities that we're targeting again, and the third level of the silo is I built out service pages for each one of these cities and targeting them specifically. And so let's take a look at Geneva, and I'll show you how this one's optimized. So again, we have our H1 tag, and it's targeting Geneva with our main keyword. We have an image here with an alt tag, commercial Christmas light installation Geneva, targeting the city. So each of those pages are targeting the city very heavily, and it's telling Google very obviously, this is where we want to rank, we're relevant for the city, this is the service we provide. So we have our outgoing link to a wiki for Christmas lights, have our bold italic, our H2 with Geneva, H3 with Geneva, all that good stuff, and then a new YouTube video targeting Geneva in that area. And this video is actually ranking like 3 days after I made it. I'll show you an example of that. And then I also added the cities to the bottom of it again, just in case Google wants to rank another page for, for one of those sites, or cross-rank them. And then I also like to include a Google Maps on any of the services or locations pages that I build out, because it just tells Google one more time, like, this is relevant, and Google loves their own products, so it's always good to put more Google products on your site. They love it. They eat it up. So you'll also notice that this is pretty much duplicate content from the commercial Christmas light installation, and I know that there is a lot of dispute about duplicate content and a lot of, opinions about it, and I do understand the value of fresh content, new content has for blogs and your website, and I've also I've done a lot of these type of service pages and that have duplicate content on them. I've built over 500 websites in the last, 7 years or so, and use this, and I'll show you some sites that are 2 years old that I still have that I haven't touched that are ranking perfectly fine with the same style duplicate content on it. As long as you change the city for the local areas, then Google views it as different content, and I've never been penalized for it. Now, if you're going to build out like a huge 50,000 page site with some kind of spinner, and I've seen those get penalized. But if you're adding, a very well established, if you're adding pages to a very well established site for local cities, then I haven't seen any penalties for that ever. So I know there's a lot of discussion about it and debate about it, and I do completely understand the use of new, fresh, original content to also bring traffic in. But when you're going after pure rankings, this also works, and you're also going to get great traffic from it as well. So just want to acknowledge that and not sweep it under the rug like I don't know what is going on, or try to, sweep it under the rug and not tell you that I understand what's going on. So anyways, that is my take on it, and I'm more than happy to discuss it with you. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure and cover that as well. So this is a silo that I built out, and that is how I got all the rankings, the improvement of the ranking that I showed you. And Google seems to love it, and everything's improving, and we'll see over the next week or two how things keep improving. I wanted to show you how the website, or the YouTube video was ranking. So this was 3 days ago. You can see it's uploaded to their YouTube channel and optimized for that. So Christmas Light Installation Company Geneva. You can also see our AdWords campaign here. We updated the AdWords campaign to target all of the other cities, and we actually have, here's the Geneva page that's ranking, and then here's the main homepage ranking. So we have the AdWords, and then 1, 2, 3, 3 of the top spots or 4 of the top spots, and then also the map listing showing up because we updated the map listing with a Geneva location. You can see we have some reviews. I need to get on my client to get some more reviews from him and put some more reviews because I can tell that the competition is starting to ramp up their SEO and their online marketing right now, and everything's jumping around quite a bit. So it's the season's coming up and everyone's taking it very seriously. I also want to show you that we're targeting Chicago, so I'm not just targeting easy long tail suburb no competition keywords. We're also targeting Chicago and ranking very well for it. And here's our AdWords campaign once again. And here's our map listing. We're #1 for that. You can see we have a location downtown. We do need to ramp up on the reviews on that location, which we'll take care of that in the next couple of weeks. You can see we're #3 for here. We were a little bit lower on the page, so maybe the on-site optimization helped with this keyword as well. But the Chicago one's super competitive. We've been bouncing around a lot in there. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you an example of a higher competition, higher traffic keyword, and just to let you know that I don't just chase after the suburb long tail keywords, which they are very valuable, don't get me wrong. But and then here's an example of another site that I have that is purely duplicate content, and it's about 2 years old. Find rhinoplasty surgeons, and it in Texas. So this is a test site that I built out just to keep testing and just seeing, how soft some markets are, what works, what doesn't work. So you can see I have 2 rankings here, and this this site, I'll show you how ugly it is and how it's ranking. I mostly rank this site with backlinks from PBNs that I set up and own from expired domains. So not much content, super ugly. I get traffic for this. I rent out some of the pages, and of course Plano is a small town, so I also want to show you the Dallas ranking just to let you know that you can rank a site with hardly any content on it, with only backlinks and PBNs for years and years without touching it. It is still possible with no penalty. So here's Dallas Rhinoplasty, and findrhinoplastysurgeon.com. Here's my site again on the first page. I haven't touched this in a long time. The goal was to sell this site, and I should probably get around to doing that. I'm sure someone would pay for it. I just haven't really focused on it very much. But take a look at this site. Super ugly. There's my H1 tags, H2 tag. Hardly any copy on it, and it's ranking just fine with some backlinks from my PBNs. So just a quick example. Here's another example of another site that I have for Boston chiropractors. This is another directory site that I was just testing out to test on rankings, and here's the site right here. You can see the structure of it is a little different. I wanted to see if it made a difference with the state and then city. They seem to perform pretty much the same if you have them set up either way. So you can see the date of this, April 22nd, 2014. Super old site, 2 years old, all duplicate content, barely anything on it. So let's take a look at it. So here's a YouTube video on it, and not much not much else. Pretty simple. This was also ranked with PBNs built from my expired domains that I found that had really good metrics. So this, and that is about it. And I installed this cool little plugin on here. I haven't really used it yet, but just to see if I could rent the site out or sell it, or what kind of interest there is on it. I haven't touched this site in a long time. Here's another ranking of that same site, Birmingham, Alabama chiropractor, and we're #1 under the maps. And this is fairly competitive. There's map listings. Chiropractors are pretty competitive. So anyways, and I'll show you this. Oh, I might have this rented out actually. Yeah, so that's one of my clients that is renting that page out. So anyways, under that is an overlay of my client site on my page. And under that overlay is all of this ugliness. This is all that's underneath of that page. So if that it could be confusing, I can explain it better if you want to know more about that. But anyways, I just wanted to show you some more examples and give you a little insight into my methodology and how I got these rankings to improve. And I hope it answers some questions and tells you a little bit more about me. I would love to talk with you about the position, and yeah, and answer any more questions that you have. So thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. All right, thanks. Bye.